Hi everybody, welcome back. So I thought I would do I guess it's a journal flip through. This is one where it was a notebook that I was using to collect just a lot of magazine inspiration, images, things that inspired me, feel-good stories, things like that. So there's not necessarily a lot of writing in it, and it's not considered a personal journal. It's just more like a volume of, like if I had a mood board sort of a thing almost in here. And then you're going to see just a lot of like random stickers and things like that that I was using as kind of a way to relieve anxiety. I just needed a notebook to kind of collect all these things so it didn't necessarily take up room in my main journal where I was doing a lot of writing. So just images that appealed to me. And this is what happens to all my magazines when I cut them up. And I really liked this image. I think it was from like a Flow magazine or like a Breathe magazine. They have really good photography in it. This is actually a card image that I got from a friend. Packaging, messages, things that appealed to me that I wanted, like a beautiful mirror. These are like images from old National Geographics. I kind of like how I split that image into 2 pages. I was really excited when Crazy Rich Asians hit Hollywood. I don't see a lot of Asian casts in movies. I've had these for a long time where it actually talked about every single type of fork and spoon that you would use when you set a table back when people had very large dinner parties. And I wanted to kind of somehow keep that. I don't know, it's just kind of a piece of a lost history. And I find this stuff very fascinating because I love history. So these are all the different knives. Postcards from people too that I got. Color palettes that I liked, headboards. A golden retriever helps children learn to read. I love that these kind of reading programs are popping up in libraries. After 63 years of marriage, a loving husband gets down on one knee and re-proposes to his sweetheart. I like paint swatches. When I see those in magazines, I tend to cut them out. And I just love this cozy image right here. More postcards from people that I've gotten. And then you'll see a lot of random stuff too, where I was just kind of gluing in bits of paper and whatnot that I don't necessarily care about, but they're in here. There's a lot of this where I was just putting down washi just because it's, I was really anxious at that time. A man in Taiwan recognized a widespread need for dog wheelchairs that are typically pricey. So he actually created some from like water pipes that is 1/3 of the cost and helped a lot of dogs. And I put that article in there. I love pictures of eggs. So anytime when Easter comes around, all those images kind of end up in my journals. This was the color of the year in 2019, which is like the darkest color. I don't know how anybody could possibly use that, even as a statement wall, because it's so dark, unless you're just so very lucky and your house is just streaming with sunlight. Just like the color palette of this one. It's playing with Lisa Frank stickers. A friend of mine, her daughter, gave us all sheets of Lisa Frank stickers, and I thought I'd just pop that in there. Articles here of the royal family. Sticking down things, it's like a way to relieve anxiety. It says to pause and to breathe and to be. Article here about Michelle Obama. So I hope this kind of gives you insight of what I tend to gravitate toward, what I like to fill my journals with. Swatching some new mild liners there. Beautiful images here. I love these kinds of interiors and these stairs. I love photos of old stone stairs and stairs in castles and things like that. I was playing with Waldo stickers here. Another Night of Anxiety, I believe. This is a great image right here with all the tree leaves. More just sticking down washi. This is kind of the theme of my kitchen, the blue and white kind of china. I find pictures of dusts very interesting to see what people keep on them, because it's kind of like a look into a person's soul. Kind of like when you see other people's bookshelves, you know, what they read and the titles that they keep is kind of indicative of a person's personality. I think for the most part this journal is filled. There might be a few blank pages. This wasn't even a part of this article, but this was actually like an ad for something, but I thought the colors kind of went together, so I put that together. It's interesting, that's what 1952 interiors patterns were. I really like that tile. It's very pretty. Pictures of country estates. It's a dream of mine to be able to live in one. And I thought pairing these color palettes to a photo of this garden looked well, so I kind of like that combination there. Yeah, so there's some pages that have space, but I think I'm getting to the point where I want to just finish this up and start another one. This is such a simple photo, simple image of somebody just making bread or dough of some sort, and that really appeals to me. I like this quote because that's very much how I view journaling. You need to let the little things that would ordinarily bore you suddenly thrill you. Andy Warhol. I think a lot of us focus on journaling as like it has to be interesting. We always have to be doing something great, and that we're writing this incredible novel about ourselves. But you know, journaling is really built up of all the little like so-called mundane things that you think are not significant enough to record, but that's the stuff that kind of makes up our life and our story. So it's nice to just focus on the simple things, because in the end, I think a lot of that is what makes us happy and content. These wintry scenes are very cozy, and that's why I put them in there. Cozy bed linens and beautiful art. I love this image. Like the colors against her skin, the flow of the fabric, that's just, it's such a beautiful photo. I love that one. Tea scenes. Some of these are from Mindful magazine that I had a lot of back issues of that kind of built up. For a while I wasn't reading magazines because I didn't have the time, and after a while I kind of lose interest in the articles and I just go through them for images, and I think for that it's worth it. Articles about the royal family. I love keeping track of everything that Kate is doing. It's a dream of mine to kind of have like an overgrown English garden with like Greek statues and things like that in there. I thought this was a cool beer label. My husband had a couple that he peeled off the can and gave to me. So one's in my regular journal, and then one I keep in here. Cool colors. They're kind of like the old school horror movie kind of graphics. Playing with different pencils to see which ones I still wanted to keep. This random stuff. Aquafina on the cover of a magazine. Is this the cover? No, maybe she was just featured. But I thought that was really cool. Another postcard, sticking on stickers. I was just trying to get rid of stuff, but also using it as anxiety relief. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Grand Estates. Cover of a card. So that's it. That is one of my journals full of images that I'm using to inspire me with. And thank you so much for watching.